Hello, I'm John Whittaker. I'm a Team Elite Leader with Nu Skin Enterprises. This is part of the flight plan training, and here's what I want to say up front. If you really want really down in the weeds, detail after detail after detail, you can dial 1-800-487-1000 and get through to distributor support and ask all your questions. What I want to do today is just briefly cover the basics of the compensation plan, the levels of different categories of people as we create our organization. And I'm going to show you how a lot of people do the business, and I'm going to show you why we're doing the business faster. The whole concept of the flight plan is that Nu Skin's growing about $200 million a year. The U.S. is going to be a $1 billion market, and right now it's about grabbing market share and about moving fast. So what you're going to see in this presentation is kind of the slow way to do the business, which we do not recommend, and then the fast way, which is to get to executive as quickly as possible, get that 4,500 points, get it done, and start creating executives. But I want you to have an understanding of the background of what's in this. Now, I'm a retired Marine Lieutenant Colonel, and in the military, we kind of broke things down into basic, simple pieces. And so what I want to do is just kind of break the categories of different categories of people in the Nu Skin organization. Now, before I get into the details of the comp plan, here's the comp plan in one sentence. The more customers you have, the more distributors you have creating customers, the larger your paycheck. So you can spend a whole lot of time getting focused on the detail, or you can go out there and create customers and distributors, and that's my advice. With that said, we are not going to cover some of the bonuses in the comp plan because there are promotions that encourage us to do certain things. This is the basics of the comp plan, and here's the basic of the comp plan. You get paid two ways. One, on what you do, that's your customers, your distributors, and two, you get paid on the organization that you build underneath you. At the end of the day, it is the organization that pays the big money. So let's get started. If you look up here at the board, we've broken it down into 5 categories. Basic customer, then a distributor, a qualifying executive, an executive, and at the top of the pay scale is executive leadership. If you notice underneath it, customers do not make money. We've got a little zero representing that, and the dollar signs increase as we go out to the right. So we're going to start here at the left-hand side so we understand a customer, and we'll work our way all the way out to executive leadership. Here is one of the ways that Nu Skin is different than a lot of other companies. A lot of network marketing companies really just hype their comp plan, and they don't have underlying good quality fundamental products. And so you'll look at some of these goofy companies, and what they're doing is about 80% of the income is coming from signing up distributors, and no one's really buying the product. If you look at a typical Team Elite check, which is in excess of $50,000 a month, somewhere between 75 and 85% of that income is coming from real customers who are fiercely loyal to our products. So let's talk about a customer. To begin with, we sell two groups of products. We're an anti-aging company. About $700 million every year comes through nutritional supplements. About $900 million every year, will probably be $1 billion next year, will come through the skincare side of the business. But it doesn't matter. It all counts. It all counts. Here's what I would say to you. Customers come into the business because we have incredible products. Now, I'm going to take one product and use it as an example. Our number one selling nutritional supplement product is a product called LifePak Nano. If you were to buy that retail, it would be $184. A retail customer is a one-time customer. That does not build residual wealth. We want customers that purchase our product every month in an automatic manner. We can also buy that product wholesale for $135, but the best price on that product is $119, and that's through a program called ADR. The AD and ADR stands for automatic delivery. This is one of the things that makes our business powerful. If I'm a real estate agent and I sell a house, when I leave the closing table, I'm unemployed. I've got to go sell another house. If I'm a car salesman, I sell a car, I get commission on it. Once that car deal is closed, I've got to go sell another car. When I put someone on LifePak Nano, when I scan them and show them where their nutritional levels are at, put them on LifePak Nano, they're going to consume that product every month. I have customers that I created in 2005, 2006, 2007, that every month that product continually ships through automatic delivery. Okay? So every month it shows up to their door, and every month I get paid a commission check. Now the R in automatic delivery stands for rewards. It's like a frequent flyer program. If you fly on an airline, I fly on Delta, I fly 5 flights, I end up earning enough points to get a free flight. So what we do is we have a 20% reward program. It's 20% in points for the customer. So here's what we're trying to do with the customer. Give them quality products at a quality price. We don't want them to buy the product at $184. We don't want them to buy the product at $135. We want them to get the best possible pricing. 30% discount from retail if they'll have that product delivered every month to their door. Plus another 20% in points. This means that every 6 months they can get that product for free. So the real cost to them is not $119. It's $119 minus 20% because they're going to get that in points. We want them to use those points to experience our other products. So the theory is a customer starts out as a $119 a month customer, and one day looks down and has 200 or 300 points, which equals $200 or $300. And they'll look in the catalog and try other products, and then the next thing you know, they're adding to that monthly shipment. So again, we love our customers. They're core and fundamental to our business. If you're building the flight plan, as you're out there looking for distributors, not everyone wants to be a distributor. Everyone needs to be healthy. And we have great products to help people be healthy. Everyone wants to look better, and we have products that help people look better. So remember, customers don't make money for the customer, but they make money for us. Now, if somebody decides they want to do the business at a very casual level, they can be a distributor by giving us their social security number. Technically, they can be a distributor without paying any money. And so we'll say, yeah, you can be a distributor. Give us a social security number. We'll give you an ID number. But here's the truth. No one gets paid. The computer will not cut you a paycheck unless you have a minimum of a $100 ADR. You have to be personally on this automatic delivery for a minimum of $100 in order to get paid. So technically the smallest amount where you can come into the business and actually earn any money at all is at $100 minimum. But here's what I will tell you. Distributors do not make real money. By definition, we only pay distributors 5%. They sell a $100 product, they make $5, and that is just not going to be a wealth generation for you. People a lot of times will sign up as a distributor just because occasionally they may sell one galvanic spa and they want to make that little bonus payment. This is somebody that's doing our business as a hobby. And it's okay if they want to do our business as a hobby because it doesn't cost us anything. The people I'm talking to on this flight plan are people that are trying to capture a $1 billion market. So I want to make sure that you understand ultimately we're trying to get out here to become an executive. An executive, that commission, we're going to pay 5% a year as we're qualifying for executive. And once we become an executive, that commission goes from 12 to 25%. You don't need a degree in mathematics to understand that you're making 4 or 5 times as much money out here as an executive as you are as a distributor. So again, why would someone become a distributor? Because once a year they may want to sell a product, or they may have a couple of family members they'd like to introduce to the business. This is not a position that anybody's going to be in to make real money. You want to ultimately get to be an executive. How do you start the qualification? Here is the deal. You do not start qualification. So if somebody's here doing $900 a month as a distributor in sales, their commission check is going to be about $45, and that's not very exciting. That's why we have a little number up here. Once this number crosses to $1,000, we are now in qualification to become executive. And here again, I want to emphasize, I'm going to show you two things. The slow way, which some people do this business, doing the slow boat to China, and the fast way, which is the flight plan. We're going to take off like a rocket and try to get out of here in an hour, in a day, in a week. Certainly within the first month, we want to be completely out here at this executive status. So let's talk about what this $1,000 means. We'll see the term LOI. That stands for letter of intent. Years ago, people would come in as a distributor and they would piddle around, and one day they would cross that $1,000 mark and they would actually send the company a letter that said, I intend to become an executive. I want you to start tracking my progress right now for executive status. $1,000 starts your executive qualification. If you're serious at this business, you would never come in with an order of less than $1,000. Most of our packages are $1,200 packages, $1,300 packages. For some of our doctors, they're $3,500 packages, but you want to start in qualification. So here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to stop and make another disclaimer here. What I'm about to show you is how a lot of people teach this business. It's not what we recommend, but you need to understand the fundamentals behind the comp plan so you understand why we're moving faster. The company allows people to take 3 months or 4 months to become an executive. So in a sort of slow fashion, they would come in with this LOI or this $1,000 order in month 1. Okay, this would be month 1. And then you would go into month 2, which was, and again, this is a little confusing because they call that Q1. Only in our business would we call the second month of the business Q1. And you would be expected to do $1,500 worth of sales. And again, each month you'd want that $100 ADR. Remember, the $100 ADR is an absolute minimum requirement to be in the business, to be paid. And then we would go into our third month in the business, which would be Q2, and you would do $2,000. Now, if you add 1,000 and 1,500 and 2,000 together, you end up with $4,500 in volume. And then month 4, the first day of month 4, you would be an executive. And you could actually drag this out. You could actually skip a month and take what we call a grace. So you could drag out this executive qualification for 4 months and actually be an executive in your 5th month. What's wrong with this plan? Let me just show you what's wrong with the plan. If you look across the top of the board, where does the money start? Where does the money start to get into the thousands of dollars? The money starts to get into the thousands of dollars as an executive. As a qualifying executive, again, you're making only 5%. 5% of $1,500 is a $75 check. Here's what we know. People do not get excited about this business until we start to get them checks into the thousands of dollars. So one of the reasons the flight plan is working is that we understand people start to make money at the executive level. So here's what we do. We say, this is stupid. Let's do 4,500 points or $4,500 your first day in the business or your first month in the business. Now, if you're on the flight plan, Michelle explains this, and you need to go back and review that. I'm not going to go over that again, but what you want to do is quickly find distributors, quickly find customers, and get moving fast so that you get to this executive status so that now when you do 4,500 points, you're getting a $900 check, plus there's bonuses on top of that, and now your check's over $1,000, and suddenly this business gets fun. Where does the big money come from? The really large money. The average Blue Diamond, which is a pin title we use to explain someone who's reached the top of the compensation plan that has 12 executive distributors underneath them. So once you become an executive, your goal is to create other executives. In other words, to do executive leadership. And so when you've created one executive, we would call you a gold distributor. When you've created 2, you would be a lapis. When you've created 4, a ruby, 6, an emerald, 8, a diamond, and 12, a blue diamond. Now, blue diamond, there's one level above that called Team Elite, which is 15 frontline executives. That is the top of the compensation plan. So if we read Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he says, start with the end in mind. So if you're brand new in the business, we're going to talk to you about all the interim steps you have to take, but let's just start with the end in mind. What's the end game look like? 3 to 5 years from now, you're going to be a blue diamond or a Team Elite. Average income at this level right now, and it grows every year, is $565,000 a year. We're talking checks in $40,000 to $50,000 a month. So we're looking back here at a $50 check. We're looking in here at a check of maybe $1,000 or $2,000 with bonuses. We get out here, now we're into the $1,000 a month range. The big money is in creating other executives. So one of the reasons you need to follow the flight plan and get to executive in a day or a week or a minimum of a month is because when you start to create executives, if it takes you 5 months to become an executive and then you bring someone underneath you and it takes them 5 months to become an executive, now it's 10 months before you get to executive leadership. That's insane. We've had people go all the way to this blue diamond position in less than a year. And so that's why the flight plan works. We're trying to get that $4,500 quick because that's part of our story. I went to an executive in a week. So therefore, you can go to executive in a week. I went to an executive in 4 days. Therefore, you can go to executive in 4 days. You want to create an organization, executive leadership. Here's where the real money's at. So if we were to analyze one of these $45,000 a month checks, where does the money come from? About $1,000 of that will come from your personal customers, your personal distributors, your personal qualifying executives, all those people that are close to you. We call that a circle or circle group. All those people that are in these first 3 categories that are underneath you contribute to that little circle. This is where you're building out to your executive leadership. The other $44,000 of that check comes from where? It comes from the organization you built. You're going to make 12 to 25% on this circle, this crowd over here of customers and distributors, but you're going to make 5% across that organization. So let me just tell you my personal experience. I came into the business, I brought a scanner, I started to create customers, proving to myself that the scanner worked, proving to myself that I could create customers because I needed to lead by example. That worked well for me. Then we started to sign up qualifying executives. I've never been a fan of signing up distributors. We helped them get to executives. They, in turn, duplicated. So I started out with 4 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I helped them become executives. And that duplicated, and that duplicated. And today we're in 28 countries, something like 2,800 distributors, and we're drawing 5% on that leadership of building an organizational downline. So as you look at the flight plan, it's simple. Step 1, get to executive as fast as you can. Create an incredible story because what you do is going to duplicate. 2, help other people get to executive quickly and teach them to duplicate that. And this organization will grow, you'll make money, and we'll own part of this billion-dollar market. Thank you for being with me today.